Alright guys, quick update. Where the fuck have I been? What have I been doing? And karate combat update. It's going to be a tough breakdown. End of a 6-day bender. Obviously, pretty big victory lap for the karate combat event. But let's begin. Obviously, I was in Ukraine. I prepared in Ukraine. I'm not going to talk too much about Ukraine right now. We've got something cooking on that, some more long-form content, so I don't want to break it down now, but let's just say shout out to the 2 black belts there. I'm a piece of shit, so I don't remember their names, but they helped me basically prepare. I got the call from Asim, Karate Combat President. He said, yo, you want to compete in Dubai? I'm like, yes, put me in. Who can we face? And he suggested my opponent, Renat. Renat is from Tatarstan. He's ethnically Tatar. He resides out of Russia. He's the guy that basically murked Kevin Lee. I'm pretty sure he rocked him and then guillotined him to sleep in under a minute. Really good. Got one of those Russian Dagestani style MMA records. I think it's something crazy like 24-1. I said, you know what? Let's do it. That'll be a fun one. I said, what's his weight? We had similar weight. He's a UFC welterweight, but we both were walking around. I think he told me he was 95 kilos, so no weight cutter for him. He's far out. I think he's 2 months out from a match, so he probably begins his cut now. Wants to have a bit of fun grappling with me for karate combat. So we get it booked, and I get to work in Ukraine. And for the last week I was in Ukraine, I would train every morning. And for an insight into how I would basically prepare for this match was I would do 30 minutes straight, alternating between these 2 black belts every 5 minutes, no rest, so 30 minutes straight. And I tell them, hey, be safe, push the pace, come after me. And that's basically the only training I did in the lead up to this. I'm not saying this because I think I'm a sick cunt or anything. I'm saying this because it's very difficult to travel on the road, and I believe in training efficiency. I like limited preparation, limited total training time, because it makes me really utilize my time. So as crazy as that sounds, sometimes I think when you have a limited window to train, you actually utilize the time more effectively in the gym. So that's how I basically prepared that style of training to get my conditioning up for the match. I knew it was going to be a crazy high intensity match because I just wasn't going to wrestle. I was just physically unprepared. Ordinarily MMA guy, if I had a little more prep, I would wrestle. But yeah, I get to Dubai. So I get to Dubai. I've never spent such a long time in Dubai. I got to train at a bunch of gyms there. Team Nogueira Dubai with Tiago Sa. Tiago beat me back in the day in a one championship grappling match in Macau. Tough guy, nice guy. He helped me out a lot. Puya, 115 kilos, scary Iranian that beat Kainan. I trained with him 2 rounds and said, no thank you, not anymore. Scary. One of the scariest looking dudes I've ever seen, or really one of the strongest guys I've ever rolled with. I couldn't do anything to this guy, so I was wondering if Kainan knew ahead of time how tough this match was going to be. And yeah, Kainan couldn't get anything going in the match. Obviously, they ultimately gave it to Puya, so big victory for a guy that's really not done much jiu-jitsu to take out a multiple-time adcc champ. I appreciate him getting the revenge for me, obviously. But guys, buy some of the fucking merchandise, because a lot of brands out there, successful brands, do limited runs of gear so that people feel the need to buy that shit straight away. But that's fake. They put a limited run of gear for whatever reason to drive up sales. Us, on the other hand, are always battling cease and desist letters. So we have a limited run on merchandise because you never know when that letter's gonna come. We're gonna have to stop selling them online and just secretly sell them behind the desk to abide by those legal stipulations. But again, Bulls, Mexican Ground Karate, Brazil Kid will be out next week. Buy any of these things while you can. I get to Dubai. I train a couple times Team Nogueira. I mean, shout out to the other gyms that helped me out. Henzo Gracie, Dubai with Huffa, much respect. Falcons Jiu-Jitsu, my buddy Tarek. I did train around, but really, ultimately I wanted to train with Tiago Sa, and that was good preparation. So I get to Dubai, I train a couple times and get staph in my knee, have to get IV antibiotics. I had staph for the last karate combat event, and I didn't take it seriously because I was in Australia when I got the call, and I got staph, and I was told it would be an 8-hour wait in the emergency room to get IV antibiotics, and I was like, you know what, fuck that. Let's just pray for the best case scenario, and it didn't go too good. I had to get it cut out. So when I got staph this time, I said, let's go straight to the hospital. And in Dubai, the hospital was empty. Super seamless experience. Got the IV in there. IV's good. I'm not obviously giving medical advice here, but IV's good for staph when you have something coming up soon, because you can give yourself a massive dose and it starts working immediately. Whereas obviously take the oral pills, you get about 48 hours before they really start kicking in. So I like to kickstart my treatment, especially when there's an event coming up. And then when the staph recovered, my media obligations for karate combat began. So we did some crazy stuff. I had a deep dive Dubai with Mike. What else did we do? We hit the top of the picture frame. They have a giant picture frame out there. We got to go on the very top of it. Unfortunately, we had to wake up at 4 a.m. to do that. Brutal. So the Dubai Tourism Board basically hooked it up for us. We got all these fun experiences. It was good learning about how the Dubai Tourism Board works with karate combat. Just fascinating to see and hear how that works and how events come to places like that. Karate Combat, another successful event. I love it. Karate Combat's free on YouTube. I know a lot of people brag, like they'll be like, oh, we used to be on YouTube. Bang, now we're on Amazon Prime or something. And I just think, you know, you've just shrunk your audience. So if you have a business model capable of putting something for free on YouTube, that's incredible, because anyone can access it. So I really like that Karate Combat's free. I also really like that they give me all the content I want. These guys are so smart. Other shows will hold on to their content, filter what they give you, tell you you can't use it. Karate Combat gives me the whole event, says do whatever you want with it. During the event, they give me reels, edit me reels, send me different options, ask my opinion. Such a good group of guys to work for, and they all work very hard. Asim, man, he never stops. I don't know how he does it. And then Rob, the founder, he's at all these shows as well. So shout out to those guys. Me personally, I love Karate Combat because doesn't take itself too seriously, recognizes what it is, and it leans into that, you know, like it's an honest show. The Karate Combat rules itself make the fight appear like an 80s movie fight scene. So it's like those classic movies are what these fights look like. It's incredible. They had India, Pakistan, obviously some beef there. Those guys were talking smack at the press conference about has the better cricketers. Goes without saying Australia has the best cricketers, even though I don't watch it.
What's up, y'all? Hope you guys are enjoying this video. Please give us a thumbs up and drop a comment. Let us know exactly what kind of content you want to see in the future. Catch you next time.
But yeah, I have my match with Rinna. We're taking it easy, kind of a bit out there, you know? Like when I have the privilege to face a UFC fighter, I recognize that they're coming into my area, and I try to keep it safe. You know, like that's a valuable piece of merchandise. I do not want to injure that and pull them out of potential money-making opportunities, or like if I rip a heel hook on one of these guys, they're out forever. That being said, I would try to heel hook these guys, but if I were to get it, I'm not gonna rip it. And my match against Renat was pretty playful, you know, like I was able to sweep him a couple of times. I went for a smother and no-gi Ezekiel, and he answered the question I always had in my head. Yo, if you tickle a guy, will it be effective in a situation like this? In a grappling match, yes, he tickled his way out of 3-4 submissions, you know, which disappointed me because I did start to get a little tired during the match, but we had some exchanges. I didn't wrestle with him. I pulled guard, we were playing around. I was trying to lure him in. I was trying to give him side control, give him north-south, but sometimes when you just give someone something, they go, oh, it's a trap, and they don't take it. It's like when your girlfriend or wife's friend messages you, it's a trap, you shouldn't take it. So that's basically what I was trying to offer Renat, smart man, didn't take it, and then ultimately I realized when he escaped mount the first time, because he's powerful dude, he's got a good explosion out of mount. Jiu-jitsu guys have about 3 or 4 big, massive explosions in them. These guys have a lot. He was able to explode out of mount the first time, but the second time I realized he was vulnerable. I had a potential opportunity for a triangle choke with a minute to go. So we lock it up. The triangle was tight. I think it was so tight he didn't know what he was doing. People call it the Brazilian tap, but he did tap on the first triangle, but I think he went unconscious as he tapped, forgot he tapped. When I let go, only thinking he had tapped, he woke up and forgot he tapped, and he said, keep going, no, keep going, keep going. And then we locked it back up and he went straight to sleep for a little bit longer. Hopefully there's no issues with that, because I feel like his brain was deprived of oxygen quite a long time. Earlier in the match, a couple of buggy chokes were tight too, but I felt like I was going to injure my ass or my hip or something, so I really had to let him go. This man was willing to die in there, and honestly, if you're in a buggy choke, you probably are willing to die, because you're never going to hear the end of that from your mates. So yeah, we got the triangle, I think, and then at the end, I was a bit concerned because he woke back up and he hit me with a hard double. It was a powerful double, and I was thinking, man, hopefully this guy's not so out of it. He thinks he's in a fight, he's about to knock me out or something, but he picked me up in the air, and I think he realized then that his memory came back to him, because sometimes when you get choked unconscious, you don't know what actually just happened. Like, I got choked unconscious and I forgot who I was, where I was, everything about myself, and then obviously so disappointed when I came to and remembered the piece of shit that I am. But that's basically the Renat March. Great guy, one of the nicest guys I really ever met. This guy was so polite, so kind. Karate Combat Fun Experience. Props to my boy Luke for taking out Joe Schilling. Luke is a cool guy. He's a good friend of mine, great grappler. He's got it all, really. Grappling, striking, handsome motherfucker. There's nothing this man cannot do, and knocking out Joe Schilling is massive. Joe Schilling hasn't fought for a while, but he's an American legend in the Muay Thai kickboxing game. So yeah, that's a big notch in the belt for Luke. He's walking Luke down consistently, and then Luke obviously caught him with that check hook. I say that like I know what it is, but yeah, Luke knocked him out. Me and Luke celebrated afterwards. It was amazing. Really, the event, again, amazing experience. We're looking for opponents for future events. I love that they have a schedule. This is something other grappling events don't have too much. They go show by show. Karate Combat has like a 12-month plan. They got country plans. They're asking me what countries do I want to go to. Love it. I honestly have been on a 6-day bender celebrating this. I've ended up in the Philippines. This is where I am now. This is the second time I attempted to film this because I'm an idiot. And the first time I filmed the breakdown, we lost it. It was corrupt file, so obviously retarded. But yeah, that about sums it up. Karate Combat breakdown. They gave me the match, so I'm going to do a bit of a match breakdown, try to explain the technical aspects of when he tickled me, of what I was trying to do, and just generally how he's a tough bastard. But until next time, unless I have a heart attack, this is your Karate Combat breakdown.